Hello everyone, welcome to video lecture series of design of steel structure. In today's video we are going to see condition number 3 in design of welded plate girder. In the last two videos we have seen condition number 1 and condition number 2. All the three conditions are classified according to your K ratio or K factor, and K factor is defined as your D by TW ratio. According to this ratio there is a requirement, or we are defining the requirements of your stiffeners. So in the last two videos, first requirement of without any stiffener we have designed a cross section. In the second condition we have considered only end bearing stiffeners, and now in this particular video we are going to design intermediate stiffeners as well as your end bearing stiffeners. So just we will see the numerical statement. So numerical statement for the given problem is design a welded plate girder for following data. So data is given as use intermediate transverse stiffeners. So if in the numerical, if this particular statement is mentioned that to adapt intermediate transverse stiffener, so in short by default you need to design your end bearing stiffeners also. So span mention is 24 meters, ultimate load mention is 159 kilonewton per meter, maximum bending moment is 11,448 kilonewton meter, maximum shear force is 1908 kilonewton, and steel grade is mentioned as Fe410. So this particular is the given data. Up till now in the last two numericals the loads were given, span were given. According to that we have calculated what is the factored bending moment and shear force, but in this particular current numerical directly the values of bending moment and shear force are mentioned, and again that given values are maximum or factored value. So do not consider partial safety factor for multiplication and consider the given value as final values. So given data, span, load, ultimate moment, ultimate shear force, and Fy value as 250, ultimate strength of plate is equal to Fe410. Now again in solution, our solution start with your D by TW ratio or K factor, and K factor depends upon your stiffeners. So already in the first two conditions we have not used intermediate stiffeners, and for this third numerical we are going to adopt intermediate transverse stiffeners or intermediate stiffeners, that is IS. Therefore purposefully we are adopting D by TW ratio greater than 200, that is condition number 3. So we will adopt D by TW ratio as 220 for this numerical. So again we are knowing economical depth is given as cube root of mu into K divided by Fy. So cube root of moment value we are knowing as 11,448 into 10 raised to 6 into ratio K is 220 divided by 250, and almost we are getting value 2160 mm. 2160 mm. Now here you must have observed that from last two numericals only we are going towards thinner and thinner size of your web portion. So assumed value of D by TW is 220, therefore thickness will be calculated as 9.81 and will round figure this value to 12 mm. Now in the very first numerical that value was almost equal to 18 mm, then in the next video it was equal to 16 to 12 mm, and here exactly the value is equal to 12 mm. So in short the thin web we are designing as the ratio we are increasing. So higher the ratio of D by TW, lesser is the thickness of web. So here we are getting web plate of size 2160 by 12 mm. Now again equating your bending moment or factored bending moment with area of flanges, moment of area of flanges and multiplied by depth, we are getting area required for your flanges is 23,320 mm square. And again for flanges to be in plastic we are approximately fixing the width of flange as 0.3 to 0.4 times of your depth. So here also we'll adopt same value 0.3 into 2160, almost 648, and we'll round figure that value to 650. Again area is known, you can calculate the thickness of flange, and that is equal to 38 mm. Now here for this third condition we are getting flange value as 650 by 38 and web value as 2160 by 12. So our cross section is defined here, and the cross section is likewise two flange plates of 650 by 38 and one web plate of 2160 by 12. Again go for classification. These are usual steps. Classify only flanges for classification of cross section, and that is plastic. We cannot go with classification of web portion because ultimately it is going to fail, it does not satisfy the criteria, and we are going for only flange classification. Then calculate the area provided, moment of inertia by adapting Ig plus Ah square, that is parallel axis theorem. go for your extreme fiber compression side and tension side, YB, YT. That is in this particular step, moment of inertia along Z side, Y side, extreme fiber distance from top and bottom, elastic section modulus and plastic section modulus. Plastic section modulus is calculated as elastic section modulus along major axis into shape factor 1.14, and now we are getting value as 71.07 into 10 raised to 6. Now this value is to be multiplied with stress Fy and beta B factor 1.0 in order to get the design bending strength of cross section. Now that design bending strength of cross section we are getting almost now 16,152. The capacity of your section is to take bending moment is 16,152 kilonewton meter, and the girder is subjected to only a moment of 11,448. Therefore it is safe. The first criteria is satisfied according to the cross section. Now next, shear buckling capacity or shear capacity of your web. So again we are either adapting simple post critical method or your tension field method. So suppose again we will adapt simple post critical method from page number 59, clause number 8422. So as here in this particular step, your value of kV depends upon type of stiffeners adapted. In the previous numerical we have assumed kV as 5.35 directly. Here you cannot go with direct value as intermediate stiffeners are provided. So initially you assume intermediate stiffeners according to C by D ratio, and as per clause number 8724 page number 66, C by D ratio should be equal to or less than under root of 2. Under root of 2 value is near about equal to 1.40. Suppose I will assume C by D ratio equals to 1.40. Now here C is nothing but it is spacing between the stiffeners along the length, and D is the depth of your stiffeners. So I will assume that ratio to 1.4. Now exactly you calculate kV factor. So kV factor when C by D ratio is 1.4 or greater than 1, it is 5.35 plus 4 divided by C by D ratio square. If C by D is greater than 1.0 and we are getting 1.40, therefore I will get now kV value as 7.39. Now putting that 7.39 for calculation of elastic critical stress, shear stress tau CRE TCRE, that is 41.24. Calculate Sanders ratio lambda W and simultaneously go for calculation of tau B. I am getting tau B value as 41.23 MPa. So multiply this calculated tau B into shear area 2160 by 12. The calculated shear force capacity or shear buckling capacity is 1068.68 kilonewton, and this is failing the requirement of 1908 kilonewton, which is the maximum factored shear force coming on the cross section. Now similar type of cross condition was occurred in the previous numerical also, but at that time intermediate stiffeners were not required. Therefore what we have done, we have directly improved the thickness of web. But in this particular numerical, what we are doing, we are going for intermediate stiffness provision also. So here the second alternative solution we have is you can provide the stiffeners and you can use same type thickness of web adapted, that is 12 mm. Therefore as this particular condition of shear buckling capacity is not satisfying, you need to provide intermediate stiffener, that is IS. Therefore the statement is written use IS to improve the buckling strength of web. So buckling strength of web can be improved by increasing the thickness or by providing intermediate stiffeners. So according to the requirement in the numerical, here intermediate stiffeners can be provided, therefore you go with that condition only. Now calculate the actual C by D ratio, so that is equal to 1.4 we are assuming. So 1.4 into D value we are knowing that 2160, so you can calculate the spacing, that is 3024. So in short your stiffeners will be spaced at a distance of 3024. So according to this you can calculate what are the number of stiffeners or panels. So that will be total span divided by your spacing 3024, 7.93, and round figure it to 8. Calculate the revised spacing 24,000 divided by 8, that is 3000 mm. Now exact value is C by D. 3000 divided by depth 2160 is 1.38, which is less than 1.40, that is equal to it is satisfying the requirement of conditions. Therefore adapt spacing 3000 and depth is 2160. Now likewise your girder will be classified. So the number of panels are 8. So likewise 8 number of panels will be there, panel 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and spacing between this panel is nothing but your C value, and that we are adapting equal to 3 meters, and this is the depth of web. So according to the panel, this is your end panel, and this again is your end panel. Orange colors are your end panel and rest are interior panels. These are classified according to your stiffeners. So initially according to clause 85 page number 60, shear capacity of end panel is to be calculated. You need to satisfy this end panel shear capacity, as your end panel is subjected to maximum shear force. Shear force when uniformly distributed load is there, which is maximum at your support center, it is 0, and again maximum at support. So therefore this shear capacity of end panel is to be checked. So that value according to 8.5 clause number is given as 1.25 Vp into bracket 1 minus VCR divided by Vp raised to 0.5. So here your VCR value is nothing but already we have calculated, that is this one, Vn is equal to VCR, and that is 1068. Now Vp value is to be calculated, and Vp is your regular shear calculation, d into t into Fy divided by root of 3, and that we are getting near about 3741.22 kilonewton. So putting the values here, calculate HQ. HQ is near about equal to 3952.56 kilonewton plus your resulting longitudinal shear RTF, that is HQ by 2. So that is equal to 1976.28 kilonewton. 1976.28 kilonewton. Now design shear strength is equal to 3401.11 kilonewton, and this is greater than your RTF value, therefore it is okay. Now here AV is your shear area that we have already calculated, and end panel is safe to carry this reaction as its capacity is 3401 kilonewton and maximum values are going to occur, that is near about equal to 1976.28 kilonewton. So okay. Similarly you go for moment capacity of end panel. So MTF is HQ into depth divided by 10, and that is equal to 853.75 kilonewton meter. So for moment capacity you need to calculate your moment of inertia, and moment of inertia is BD cube by 12, but here B value is nothing but your thickness of web, and as it is longitudinal to your applied force, transverse to your applied force, so thickness of web, that is 12 into C spacings cube, that is 3000 cube divided by 12. So calculated value y bar will be 3000 by 2, that is y by 2 or d by 2, and this value is near about equal to, putting that values here, moment, that is m by I is equal to sigma by y is equal to E by R. Mq will be given as moment of inertia into Fy divided by y into gamma m0. So this capacity is now almost equal to 4090 kilonewton meter, and the requirement was only of 853, therefore it is safe. So your end panel is safe to carry movement as well as your longitudinal shear because of your HQ force. So end panels are safe for design. Now design of intermediate stiffeners. Now here in this particular figure you can observe that these particular blue color lines are provided on either sides of your wave are your end bearing stiffeners, and these are your panel 1, panel 2, 3, 4, likewise 8 number of panels are there, and your intermediate stiffeners are provided in alternate fashion. Continuously they are not providing, they are in alternate fashion. So from suppose from right side there are near about half of 4 number of panels, and again from right side there are 4 or 3 number of panels of stiffeners. So according to class 8724 page number 66, your C by D ratio is what, it is 1.38, and which is less than root of 2. So according to this requirement, if thickness of web is 12, there is requirement of moment of inertia for stiffeners, and that is given as 1.55 into d cube t cube divided by c cube. So if C by D ratio is less than root of 2, or that is 1.38, then in that cases IS is to be adapted according to this clause. So that is equal to 2.90 into 10 raised to 6. So in short, our calculated moment of inertia for stiffness should be greater than this value. So according to this requirement, maximum outstand possible is what, total width of line minus 12 by 2, and that is equal to 319 mm, and minimum outstand is always 14 TQ. Maximum outstand should not be greater than 20 TQ. So our value should be in the range of 168 to 280. So we'll add up, suppose intermediate stiffener as 240 by 12. So this obstruction, this outstand is equal to 240 by 12. So calculating moment of inertia for this particular core area, that is orange color or green color. Entire green color T or orange color inverted T, both are same. So Ig plus Ah square, 12 into 240 cube by 12 plus 240 into 12 into 126, that is H value, plus 12 into 480 cube by 12 equals to, so that is 170 into 10 raised to 6, and this value provided is greater than requirement of 2.90 into 10 raised to 6. Therefore the moment of inertia provided for intermediate stiffener is satisfying the requirement according to clause number 8724, therefore it is safe. So likewise if you consider example of section along A, so stiffeners will be provided on both sides. And if you consider example of section B, here stiffener will be provided only from one side, and this is the alternate side which is provided next to next span. So likewise alternate fashions will be there, as almost this particular is having greater requirement. There is no requirement of providing your stiffeners on both the sides as the loading is not acting. So in short, from this figure, the blue color lines are your end bearing stiffeners, and rest interior all green and orange are your intermediate stiffeners. So likewise the design for intermediate and end bearing stiffeners can be completed. Now next, design of end bearing stiffeners. Similarly go for your area effective calculations for end bearing stiffeners. Here you can slightly improve the size of end bearing stiffeners. For intermediate it was 250, here you can increase that by 280. So similarly calculate area effective, moment of inertia, under root of I by A for KL by R calculation, that is slenderness ratio. Calculate your FCD value according to buckling class C table number 9C, and that calculated FCD is to be multiplied with this area, so that you can calculate the design compressive stress, and that is equal to 1908 kilonewton, sorry 2824 kilonewton, and it is going to subjected to maximum reaction of 1908 kilonewton, therefore it is okay. So required end bearing stiffeners are safe. Now in previous video, in case number 1 video, we have seen connection between your flange and web. For this calculation we are going to see connection between your stiffener portion and your web portion. So connection of intermediate stiffeners and end bearing stiffener with web of girder. So separate clause is given, clause number 8726 on page number 67. So shear carried by your stiffener formula is TW square divided by 5BS. So this BS is nothing but this is the portion covered by your stiffeners. So here for this EBS it is 280, for IS it is 240, for IS it is 240, that is area or width in contact with your flange, stiffener width in contact with your flange. So 1 TW square, that is nothing but 12 square, here is the correction, it is not 122, it should be 12 square. So 12 square divided by 5 times of BS is 240, and that we are getting near about 0.10 kilonewton per mm. And if you provide the size of welding as 5 mm, throat thickness is 0.7 into 5, that is equal to 3.5. So design shear strength weight is given as 1 mm in length into throat thickness 3.5 into 410 divided by root of 3 into 1.25. So almost we are getting as 0.662 kilonewton per mm. So this value is greater than 0.10 kilonewton per mm, and therefore it is safe in your welding also. So in case of last numerical, you need to calculate shear stress at junction, and here according to ISC standard they have mentioned the value of shear stress for junction between your flange and stiffener portion, and according to that only welding size is decided. So likewise the connection may be provided, and your connection between, initially the connection will be between web portion and flange portion, and secondarily the connection will be between stiffener and web portion and stiffener and flange portion. So likewise the numerical for third condition, that is design of your design of your plate girder using intermediate stiffeners and end bearing stiffener is completed. So likewise only for your examination there may be numerical that will be asked for including all the three conditions. So hope the numerical is clear to you. If still if you are feeling any doubt, you can refer books or you can directly contact me. Thank you very much.